Hi everyone, this is Smriti. Welcome to QA automation classes. So today we are going to learn about the hooks. Okay, in the last class we have completed creation of the browser factory, the initialization of the browser driver, and protecting it with thread guard, and we have used the thread local for the parallel execution. Right, everything was there in the browser factory. So today we are going to look into the hooks. Right, so what exactly is the hooks in Cucumber? Right, so let's say if there are some common methods which are going to be executed before each scenario or after each scenario, or before each of the scenario step or after each of the scenario step. Okay, then we can use the Cucumber. So that means all the common codes, right? So when you have some common codes and you want them to be get executed, so we can go with the hooks concept in the Cucumber. Okay, so it is like we have at the rate before, at the rate after. I list them out what are the hooks available, right? So compared to TestNG, in Cucumber we have only fewer hooks. Okay, so what are the hooks? So we have at the rate before. Okay, this is one of the hook. Then at the rate after, and at the rate before step. Okay, and at the rate after step, before step. Okay, sorry, type before step, and we have at the rate after step, and then there are two global hooks as well. So these are the four hooks, and I can say I can keep it here once. These are global hooks. Okay, global hooks is at the rate before all. Okay, and at the rate after all. Okay, so these two are the global hooks. Okay, so let's understand what is the before. Okay. So before, at the rate before, it is going to get executed before each scenario. Okay, so let's say there is one scenario. So if whatever the hooks we have, whatever the code is there in the at the rate before, so those code is going to get executed before the execution of that scenario, right? And mostly we write our setup codes like initializing the browser driver and launching the browser. If you want to make a connection to the database, they all should be part of this before annotation, right? Or the before hooks. And similarly at the rate after. Okay, so after is like kind of what you can say, it is going to get executed after each scenario. So let me show you one scenario here. What is our feature file? Okay, so this is one of the scenario, right? Or this feature background scenario. Let's say this is the scenario, right? So now what will happen? So we'll do one thing, right? So whatever the before is there, so that will first get executed, then the scenario will get executed, and then whatever at the rate after hook related code is there, that will get executed, right? So this after hook, right? So after hook, where exactly we are going to use it in the tear down methods. Okay, like if you are going to release the database connection, right? You have opened the connection, now you have to close the database connection, you have to use this. Okay, and you have already initialized the browser in the before hooks, and now the execution is completed and everything is done. You have to close the browser instance, right? Or quit the browser instance. That can be done in the at the rate after hook. Okay, so this is before and after. Okay, and then before step and after step. So before step, this whatever the code is written in the before step is executed before each step, right? And after step gets executed after each step. Okay, and the global hooks before all and after all. Before all runs before any or all scenario is run. If there are multiple scenario, before everything is run, the before all is going to run, and after all runs after all the scenarios are executed. Okay, all the scenario, let's say here we have two scenario. Okay, let's say both of the scenarios got executed. So first before all is going to get executed, and then after these two scenarios are executed, then after all is going to get executed. Okay, these are the global hooks. Cool. And we can define the multiple same hooks, and if we can give the order for the execution of the priority. Okay, so 0 is having higher priority, then 1, then 2, 3, like that. Okay, so you can have the multiple at the rate before, at the rate before. Let's say at the rate before priority equals to 0, at the rate before priority equals to 1, right? So the 0 is going to get executed first, and then 1 is going to get executed. Okay, so there is one more concept called as the tagged hooks. Okay, so what exactly is this tagged hooks? Okay, so in the tagged hooks we can pass the tags with the hooks as well, right? So let's say we have at the rate smoke. Let's say here I can say, let's say we have at the rate smoke. Okay, and we have at the rate regression. So let's say we have at the rate smoke and at the rate regression tags in the feature file. Okay, so then we can make one thing like this. Okay, so let's make at the rate, I'll say before. Okay, this is the before, and in the before I can make within the double quotes, I'll say at the rate smoke. Okay, so this means what? Okay, so that means we are saying in the before hook, we are saying run all the smoke test cases. So that means all the tags, those are all the scenarios those are tagged with the smoke are going to get executed. The regressions will be executed after that, right? So this is called as the tagged hooks. Okay, so we can use tag the hooks as well, fine. And so most commonly we're going to use these two, before and after, and that's how we are going to implement in our existing framework. So let's go to our code and let's create a hooks class. Okay, so let's go to automation utilities and create the hooks Java class. So hooks okay, the hooks class got created. So now what to do in the hooks class? So in the hooks class we have to write our let's browser initializing the browser, right? So that is already present in your browser factory. So let's call those methods here. Okay, so if you see the setup method, browser setup method is there, that is part of the browser factory. So in the before we have to call that method, right? So let's say @before. Okay, this is the before hook, and in the before hook we'll say, sorry, @before, this is just tag, it's not a method. So @before we have to or JUnit before import class. Okay, just import this one, IO Cucumber Java. Okay, so now before is done, and then we have to define the method. Okay, so what method will define? Let's say public void setup, because usually the setup method is there, right? For the before we write the setup methods, right? And in the setup method what we'll write, we have to create the object of the browser factory, right? So for that one, let's write the browser factory instance class. So private, let's say browser factory. Okay, so you give the name like a reference variable. I'll keep browser factory. Okay, this is the reference name. So browser factory, capital F. Okay, so browser factory, yes, spelling mistake. So browser factory, and what else we need? We need the driver also, right? So let's give private web driver. Okay, and the other before public void setup. In the setup, what we need to do? We need to initialize the browser factory. So let's say browser factory equals to new browser factory. Okay, so now we have initialized, we have created the object of the browser factory. So now we have to call the setup method in the browser factory. What method we have? We have the browser setup method. How to call it? So with the object name, right? So browser factory dot browser setup. Okay, so what it is going to return? It is going to return the driver. So we can assign that to the driver here, driver reference, whatever we have got created. Okay, so we are done with the before. Similarly, let's do the after, after. So in the after, this also we need to import it, right? So okay, so before is done. Am I missing something? So before is done, and after before, this scope is done here. This is inside the class. Okay, so let's write the after, right? IO Cucumber Java, right? And here most commonly we give the method name as the tear down, right? So let's say public void tear down. Okay, so it's the tear down method. So now you say driver.quit, quit. Okay, so this is before and after. And if you want to give the order, I was saying, right? So you can specify the order over here, order equals to 0. Okay, so this is before and this is after. So now you saw, like we have created the hooks, and the hooks we have given browser, we have accessed the browser factory, we have created the object for the browser factory, and through that we have created the driver instance. Okay, and then after in the after annotation, the order equals to 0 we are specifying, and then we are calling the tear down. So now when the hooks is there in place, right? So it is going to get executed, this before is going to get executed before the execution of the is scenario, and similarly the after is going to execute it after the execution of the is scenario, right? So if you see, the driver setup part is taken care here and driver quit part is taken care of here. Okay, so let's go to our feature file and try to understand what are the changes we need to do. Okay, so given user navigates to the application, I think open login page, navigate to the sign up or login page is navigating to the application. This we can get rid of. Okay, and user navigates to the application, right? So but here where we cannot get rid, because we are just setting up, right? Where is the navigation is happening? Let's see. So this is our step definition, right? So user navigates to the application, and base steps, trying to navigate to the application, base steps dot open URL. Okay, so let's go to the base steps. So in the base steps we have this code. We can get rid of this entire code now. Okay, so base steps, since we have the browser factory, let's try to use the browser factory. Okay, so okay, we don't need all those things. Public void open URL. So driver dot get application URL, driver dot window dot maximize, navigated to the application. We don't need a cache block over here. Okay, navigated to the application. Okay, so how the execution is going to happen? So my expectation is first go to the user login. So the first step is given user navigates to the application. So before execution of these things, right? So the scenario is before is going to get executed after the scenario, right? So let's try to run and see if it is working or not. So I'll do one thing, I'll just keep only one test case as of now. The other one also, let's comment it. So as of now I have only one scenario to get executed. So let's run and see. With respect to background and before, what is happening we need to understand. Okay, okay, so it failed. What? Null pointer exception. Why it is showing? It is showing the base steps dot driver is null. Okay, so we can do one thing. So first let's update our because see, background is getting executed first. Okay, so when background is getting executed, that time so if you see auto detected JUnit for provider, we'll look into that and shortly. So null pointer exception, okay, because the automation utils base steps to driver is null. So it is first trying to log in, like it is first go step definition, open login page step definition. Okay, fine. Okay, so the problem is it is not able to find the driver instance, right? So driver is not getting executed before this background. So we can optimize, we can just update this one. So how to update? Let's get rid of this background now, as of now. So we'll say smoke. Okay, so in the smoke we can say let it be user login, right? Feature, what is the open login? So no, not this one. Let's go to the other test case. Here only we can do let's go with this simpler one first. Okay, so open sign up or login page scenario, navigate to the sign up or login page, given user navigates to the application. Perfect. When user clicks on the sign up or login link, then sign up or login page should be displayed and user closes the browser. Okay, so we don't need this because this is already getting taken care by this what is this tear down method, right? So now given user navigates to the application, so user navigates to the application. So here base steps dot open URL. So by the time this open URL is getting called, at the rate before will get executed, right? Because this is one of the simple scenario. So instead of user login, I just want to show you this open login page. Okay, this is the simple one. Let's first understand this one, we'll go to that one later. Okay, so I can get, let's comment it. Okay, so now the other one is commented out, right? Okay, let's comment it out. So only one is there, open login page dot feature. Let's run it. Okay, so now the before should get executed first and the driver should get initialized, and after that the scenario should get executed. So it's saying build success test render. So it didn't execute anything. Why? So one more processor found. Okay, so what is the error here? JUnit 4 cucumber runner build success, cucumber running test runner, cucumber runner test, cucumber runner test results. Okay, so we need to look into this. So let's go to the runner and see what exactly is the issue. We have given tags at the red smoke, but here we don't have any tags, right? I think that is causing issue. So let me get rid of these tags, or I can annotate here at the red smoke. Anything is fine. Okay, at the red smoke. Let's see whether it works this time or not. Let's run this. Okay, it's reading, but still okay. So here again the driver is coming as null. Why the driver is coming as null? Let's understand that one, right? So it's saying navigate to the sign up or login page, okay, and WebDriver dot get up string because automation utils dot base driver is null. So let's go to the base steps 40. Here we're getting that one, right? So driver request to null. So we have the driver instance, okay. So WebDriver, and here driver dot get application URL, okay. So when we're running, right, when we're running our automation script, let's see the driver, we have to assign it over here, right? So in the hooks we're calling, right? So here we are making some mistakes. So let's go to the step definition and see. Okay, so here what we're trying to do here, this is the step definition. In the step definition, we're saying log manager dot get logger. Okay, we're getting the log. We're creating the object for the base step, and user is trying to navigate to the application. We're directly calling the base step dot open URL. And here, if you see, we're passing this driver, right? For the home page, we're passing the driver. Sign up login page, we're passing the driver. Home page, we're passing the driver. But at this point of the time, we don't have any reference to the driver, right? Because if you see, we have already commented this static WebDriver driver. So what are the changes we need to make here? Okay, so let's say, so private and WebDriver driver equals to browser factory, right? So browser factory dot get driver instance, okay. So that will be stored in the driver, right? And that driver instance is going to pass to the different pages, okay. I think it should work, but this open URL again, right? So we need to read the URL, right? So we should not comment out this. Try. So property.app URL, okay. So from here we can, I think we can give the comment. So out.load, right? Oh, catch close. Okay, that also commented out, right? Did I remove that catch close? Okay, so let me add the catch close here, okay. So add exception, no action. Try catch. Oh my god, surround with catch only. Oh, we're already have try catch, add catch close, okay, fine. So if you see, the catch has been added here, okay, fine. So again, close browser. This is in the base steps, right? We don't need because it is going to take care by the after hook, okay. Okay, what is this? This is open URL. Okay, I need to give one more. Okay, fine. So now let's see if it is working now or not. Exactly, error is now open login page step definition. So what is the error now here? User closes the browser. We don't need this one, right? Because if you see in the feature, what is that? Open login page feature. We have commented out that line, so we don't need that line. So let's run and see whether everything is working or not. Excuse me. Yeah, again error is coming. So why exactly this error is coming? Again, the browser will be this cannot invoke because the driver is null, okay. So now this driver is null. Why this driver is becoming null again and again? Okay, so we have the hooks, right? The hooks is not going to work like that. We have to give the location of the hooks to the runner. Where is our runner? Cucumber test runner. So how you have given, right, features glue equals to step definition, we have to give the hooks also. So for that one, let me create a package over here. New package, let's say hooks, and to that hooks just move this one, okay. I think this is fine now, okay. So and in the runner class, right, so what is the runner class? In the runner class I can give glue equals to step definition and comma, here I can give hooks, okay. Let's see this time what happens. Okay, again error. Why is the error? same error because the driver is null. Okay, so first error is navigate to sign up or login page cannot invoke get string because the automation util base step is null, and this one is also null. Okay, we'll see why exactly this is again coming as. So yeah, we made a mistake over here, guys. So if you see when reading this browser setup, right, so what we are doing, we are using system.get property. This is not the system.get property, is to get from the command line argument, right, but we are loading it from the properties file. So better we should go with the prop.get property. Okay, so prop.get property of the browser. Let's see this time it should work. See, it's saying browser is Chrome, right? Okay, at least browser got initialized, right? So now it is failing. So we need to see why exactly it is failing, right? We need to look into that. Okay, so let's see. So what it is saying, browser is Chrome, and it is initialized. Okay, so cannot invoke because the automation utilities that base driver, base text driver is null. Here it is coming again null, so that we can need to verify. Okay, so let's go to the open URL. So here it is not able to get that driver instance, right? So we are saying we have to pass this driver instance over here. So let's see from where we are calling this one, void open URL. So base steps dot open URL. So base steps equals to new base steps. Okay, this is fine. We're creating the object of the base steps, and base steps dot open URL. So while we're saying base steps dot open URL, we should have passed, right, the driver related information. So let's see that one. So the issue what we see here, you know, right, so the issue is like, let's go from the feature file. Okay, so open login page, so navigate to sign up or login page. Okay, given user navigates to the application. So for navigating to the application, what we need, so first we need URL, we need the browser related information, right, and we need the driver to be initialized. So now if you see, we are creating the driver instance over here. Okay, so driver instance is over here. Okay, all right, and now what we are doing in the given, we are creating the object of the base steps, because in the base steps we have this what is that, open URL is there, right? But for opening the URL, right, we need to pass the driver instance to this method, right? The base step should have that driver instance, then only it will be able to execute open URL. Otherwise we can do one thing, we can get that code here, or we can pass the driver information from here to the base steps, then only it will work. Okay, so since all the common steps we are going to keep it in the base steps, so let's have we can pass the driver information to the base step and try to do that. So let's say we have the driver over here. I can say base steps start open URL of the driver, and let's go to this open URL method, and here we will say web driver. Okay, and let's say driver. Okay, so now save, let's try to run. Okay, so now let's run. We'll look into this. Okay, CFR unit for provider. What is this? So browser is initialized now, opening, navigator to the URL, and then click on sign up or login. Okay, then click with the browser driver. Okay, so what happened? So now we went to the hooks, and through the hooks we got like the browser and all got initialized, right? The browser setup and everything from the browser factory. The driver got initialized, and then if you see here, we are somewhere, we might be showing the browser name is something here, right? The SOP statement. See, browser is Chrome. Okay, browser is Chrome. Browser is browser name, right? This is one. So now that means first it is going to the hooks, and in the hooks it is going here, and it is going to do the browser setup, right? And it's saying browser equals to Chrome, and then depending upon our if condition, that new Chrome driver is getting created over here. Okay, and then it is getting created, right? And right, so the driver instance returns the driver instance. Okay, and then if you see, then the execution is happening, and after the execution is done, they should execute that after one where they are closing, right? I think I have not given any statement over there, so that it is not showing. So let's go to the hooks, let's say driver.quit. Okay, So here we can give the log.info, we can say, but we need to implement the logger over here. But if you want to see the tear down, right, so tear down is happening here also. I'll just give is out statement and we can rerun it one more time and see if it is coming or not. Is out in tear down method. Okay, let me run it one more time and we can see if this is coming in the console or not. Okay. Okay, so let's see here, in tear down method it is coming, right? So that means the after one is getting executed, hook is executed after the execution of the scenario. So this is how the concept of the hooks. So you need to create a class hooks, and in the runner file you have to specify your hooks location, okay, along with the glue code, okay. And in the before hooks is going to get executed and it is going to do all the setup kind of thing, and then after method is going to get executed after the execution of the scenario. So that's all to this class, guys. If you guys are really enjoying these sessions, I'll request you to subscribe to my channel and please share this videos with your friends and the colleagues so that they can get benefited out of it. If you are really liking my content, please, I request you to give me a thumbs up by liking the videos. So we'll meet in the next class. Thank you everyone. Bye bye.